All right. Oh, goody. We are on Instagram. Cool. What's up, buddy boy?
Nothing much. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you. I feel like I've known you forever. I can't remember when it was. It was some conference somewhere. I don't know if it was a EPI conference. I don't know what it was, but I remember you coming up to me. I think I spoke at some conference and you came up and introduced yourself when you were like 23 or something.
Yeah.
And you said, "Hey, I want to introduce myself, blah, blah, blah. I'm Devon Taitt, and it's, I really like what you're doing, and I want you to know that blah, blah, blah." You're basically saying, and I'm not tooting my own horn, I'm this is about you being cool. But you said something effective, kind of mentoring you or whatever, is it okay? And I was so impressed with you and your ambition that I never forgot you. Not a lot of people have the cojones to just walk up and say, "Hey, I'm going to be a big deal, and I'd like to, learn from you." And I was very, very impressed. So I've always respected and admired that about you, because when you want something, you got to go after it, because, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So we've obviously become friends. We've worked together multiple times. You have been an Alive instructor for like 5 years, and you've done a ton of trainings for me, and always knocked it out of the park. And I got great evaluations, reviews for you. So I got nothing but respect for you, buddy. And now you're blowing up. I mean, all the hard work you've done since I've known you is paying off. I mean, so much going on in your life. So tell us what's going on with Dev. You got married this year.
Got married this year. Yep, to my college sweetheart. Met her when I was 19 years old, and we tied the knot.
Yeah.
We brought in our first child on July 2nd, Reagan Tate. Yeah, we're just trying to make some things happen, man. It's been moving fast, and it's been moving fast. But I'm a big man of faith, and I believe that God doesn't give you more than what you can handle, and if He does, it's because He wants you to grow. So between being a husband, being a father, being an entrepreneur to a new business, he certainly has a plan for my personal growth and development. So,
and your company name is Kingdom Risk Mitigation.
Yes, sir.
Right. Yes, sir. So you are literally weaving your faith into every aspect of your life, personal and professional.
Yes, sir. Shamelessly, and it's I've had to check myself lately because I need to do a better job at pushing that. I grew up in the church. Mom made sure that I was, there every Sunday, that I participated. I preached from the age of 13 to 23. So my faith is a big part of who I am. And like I said, I need to be a little bit more vocal about that to my audience as I develop the company brand and the personal brand as well. I can't leave that out.
Well, I admire that. My personal perspective is there's a place and a time for that. And if I'm talking business with you, as long as it's not a distraction from what we want to do business wise, I think it's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely not a distraction. Because I believe, we all have our moral compass, but I believe that one of the commandments is to provide for your family and make a living. So therefore, I do that with no bias. I protect the left, the right, all demographic of clientele. My faith is mine. And it is how I conduct myself,
Right. Well, and look, having a code, no matter what faith or belief system you have, unless I guess if you're some kind of Satanist, that might not be so good. But any kind of religion or ideology that lifts you up, gives you strength, helps you persevere, that's a good thing, man. And as I know, on my podcast, we talk about perseverance, and faith has come up multiple times with my guests. So that's fantastic. Tell me what's going on with your business. So I've known you, 10 years, something like that. How old are you now?
29.
Okay. Well, I thought it was longer than that I've known you, because we've done a lot of stuff together. But you were like, "Hey, I want to be in the security industry. I want to be a protector, and I want to own my own company." And now you do, and you've got all kinds of stuff going on. What exactly does Kingdom Risk Mitigation? What are all the things on the menu that they offer?
Yeah, so all the things, we were fortunate when I got started. I got the client first. I intended to be a guard car training, firearms, alive. That's what I built the business to be. But I got blessed. I got an opportunity to get a client first, so I had to enlist somebody else's PPO, and just kind of like take a paycheck type thing while things, built out. I got my own license, and through the clients that I had, it was primarily subcontracting at that time. So I was able to build a really good capability statement because I was a new business owner. They say, can you do this? My answer is, yeah, I can do this. So right now, I would say if I can narrow down what we do the most, it would be special events, protective services, both close protection and residential. And we do a lot of workplace violence. We do a lot of that hostile termination type work. So that's kind of been our bread and butter. And then of course some security driving thrown in there every now and then. But that's kind of been our bread and butter.
You do have like a training vertical that you offer guard card training, and aren't there other things you offer for training, not just the guard card?
Yeah, so we do the guard card, first aid CPR, handcuffing, baton, and the exposed firearms permit. Then of course, personally, my personal brand is, I teach the Alive Active Shooter program. We're going to be adding the workplace violence part of Alive pretty soon, and I do
the SB 553 stuff for the California Senate bill that's affecting 800,000 businesses in California.
Yeah, you know what, man? That's one of the things that that I ain't gonna get too political, but that's one of the things that have been put in place in California that I'm glad is actually going to benefit a business owner. Because man, I got slapped to the knee when I first saw how much federal payroll taxes are taken out, and my first workers' comp audit and general liability renewal, and there's just a lot of things that don't benefit business owners in California, but we persevere. But that one does benefit us.
Yeah, well, it benefits us. Usually, anytime there's tragedy, somebody gets to capitalize on it. It happens that a lot of businesses they're dealing with SB 553. It's a pain in the butt, and they got to spend money and do all this different stuff. I think, in theory, I love the workplace violence prevention plan bill. I think every employee, everybody, period, and I know you'll agree with me, should have some have some threat awareness, workplace violence awareness, what to do, see something, say something. All of that stuff will come about because of this bill. It's just poorly written, and it's a whole lot of stuff for a whole lot of employers that I don't know. It's not a great bill, but hopefully, I hope that with companies like us doing the training, I know people are going to be better off after they get the training. So that's pretty exciting.
Oh, 200%. I mean, like you said, I haven't gotten a chance to look over the bill yet, but based off what we went over the call, I can see how it's poorly written. But one of the things that has surprised me is how many companies actually already do this. We've done presentations. We've done the Alive presentation for organizations. I remember, I think before you even sent me on an Alive teaching, you sent me to go do verbal judo instruction for one of the cities in the IE.
Yep.
And the organization, I was surprised at how many trainings they put their people through that are verbal de-escalation and stuff. So I was happy to see that. So with that, given that companies do it, hopefully this new workplace violence law training won't be too much of a hurdle that they have to get over, because it does exist. Companies do it.
Yeah. It's, thank goodness, the proactive ones do it. What's fun though, there's also some reactive. For instance, there was a dentist's office in Texas that a guy, active shooter, walked in. He was upset with something that happened, went out to his car, got his gun, came in and smoked like 4 people. And my phone started ringing off the hook from dentist's office. So a lot of people, unfortunately, are not forward thinking and proactive. They think, oh, it'll never happen to me, until it happens in their own backyard. And then all of a sudden they're going, oh gosh, let's scramble and get the training. But, better late than never. Hey, I want to ask you, to benefit anybody that might be watching that's either thinking about getting into security and protection or new in it. You're one of the, don't take this the wrong way, because I don't mean it condescendingly to me anyway, because I'm damn near twice your age. You're kind of one of the babies in the industry. You're obviously an up and comer because you're ambitious. You work your ass off, and you deserve everything you've gotten. But you're one of the younger guys, which is very impressive. What would you say to somebody in your shoes 10 years ago, say somebody your age, 23, that thinks, hey, I want to be an EP agent, I want to be a security guy, I want to be a bodyguard? What kind of advice would you give that person?
The advice that I would give to that person is, and I get it from guys that I get who apply with Kingdom. I want you to think bigger picture. Being an EP and being a bodyguard and stuff like that is a fantastic profession, but sometimes what it takes to really be in that and truly thrive in it isn't for everybody. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. That's not to say that you're going to go on a detail and you can't make it. You're going to want to have a family one day. You're going to want to have children one day. And it is very demanding. I live that life of the day-to-day EP guy, and you're just there on a whim. If they want to go to the grocery store, I've determined in my life, that's not what I want. You know what I mean? That's not what I want. I want to get in and do a detail for a couple of weeks, and then I'm back with my family. So think bigger picture. The security industry is really big. You can start off at a hotel, as a guard, and work your way up to become a director of security for a hotel. You're not losing. You know what I mean? Those guys make great money. They get to do a lot of great things. They get to build their network. And it's a positive career field. And if you're going to be an EP, there's two different paths that people take. Usually they'll take the path of, hey, I'm going to work this full-time detail till it ends. Then I'm going to hop on another full-time detail. Or, I have this fear of missing out syndrome. So I don't want to commit to any one detail. I'm just going to answer the phone as it rings. And that's probably the worst thing. I did that. It's probably the worst thing that you can do. Or there's the guys who are going to get in there, going to build up experience, and then go for their PPO and go for their agency license. That is the path that I would recommend to people. It's a harder path, but it will provide you a little bit more stability. You'll make a little bit more money eventually. Or, look at a Gavin DeBecker, look at one of the companies that kind of have that infrastructure in place for you to grow and thrive. And I don't know if you remember, but years ago, we kind of had that conversation because I was still on that law enforcement path because I felt like I wasn't getting it from the EP side. I wasn't getting that opportunity. And you were like, well, have you looked at these companies? Because you get in with them, you will grow. So there's a lot of different paths that you could take, but I recommend getting somewhere that can provide you some benefits. It'll be hard. Get somewhere that can provide you some benefits and stability, and work your way up in that, whether you be at a hotel or whatever establishment you're in.
Okay, so that was this big. I want you to go here. What kind of personality traits or characteristics, refer back to yourself, because I know the answer to this. Would you say, young person or new person, this is the advice I am giving you? What kind of personality traits or characteristics would you advise them to have?
Get comfortable with missing sleep. Have thick skin, because at a certain time, somebody's going to step on your toes or step on your ego. Understand things ain't personal. And be willing to work hard, and, they say an overnight success could take 10 to 15 years. So just get on the detail and learn. You learn at every step of the detail. If you have that mindset that, hey, I'm here to absorb everything that I possibly can to make myself a better security practitioner, that's what I'm going to do. And that's the mindset that I had. And that's led to me, having some level of success, being in that I can provide for a family. So those personality traits I think will be essential. Have some thick skin, be willing to work hard, and be willing to learn through every step of the process.
And let me go a couple of steps further, because one of the things that I have always advised when I have mentored for As Is or for IPSB is keep your ears open and your mouth shut most of the time.
Yeah.
Don't talk shit about other agents or your employer or other companies, and certainly not the client. Unfortunately, this profession tends to draw certain personalities for whatever reason. Type A's. One of the characteristics, I looked this up, I studied it because I'm a Type A. One of the characteristics of a Type A personalities is a higher level of insecurity. So some of those people take that insecurity and they try and break people down to build themselves up.
200%. And you're going to cross that path in this industry. It will happen. You
And
know,
it'll bite you in the ass because it's a small industry. I mean, I meet people all over the place, and they all know this. We all know the same people. So don't be the guy out there talking crap or Monday morning quarterbacking or armchair quarterbacking about this detail or this guy wearing 511s out, instead of jeans or something like that. It doesn't serve you. It makes you look stupid, frankly.
it does.
And nobody, look, this is the way I see it. If somebody's talking shit to me about somebody else, I wonder what shit they're talking to someone else about me when I'm not around. So keep your mouth shut. Always keep training, keep getting better at your skill, soft skills, hard skills. Like you said, keep your head down and do the work. Have thick skin, and it's not for everybody. And I'll tell you, I'm old now. It wouldn't be for me now. I wouldn't want to. Hell, we went and did an awards, the Academy Awards after party in Hollywood, and I was on my feet for 12 hours, and I don't want to do that anymore, man. I'm freaking old. So that shit, it takes me about 2 days to recover from that. So you can say it's a young man's profession, but there's plenty of guys, older that are tough enough to do it.
Yeah, they love it.
But it's not for everybody. So
No,
where do we see Devon Taitt in 5 years?
Devon Taitt in 5 years will be, there's certain people that I have in the industry that I look up to. And my competitive nature is to say, whatever this person has accomplished by whatever age, is there a way that I can cut that time frame in half, right?
I love it.
And that's how I look at things. So in 5 years, Kingdom will have a headquarters. Right now we got our 700 square feet office in Inglewood, and we're gonna ride that thing till the wheels fall off. But we will have a headquarters of some sort. We're getting our PI license this year. I got myself a good QM. So, so as far as Kingdom goes, we will be serving more clientele. We're going to niche down on the event security market. When it comes to event protective services, that's really what we want to focus on. So we're going to have a stronger foothold in that. And Devon Taitt, personally, I have my personal income goal that I would like to see my bank account be at by, and actually my goal is 3 years. And then maybe one more child.
All right. And what?
A home. Plan to buy my family a home soon.
Okay, well, those are all good. I like that. Look, goals, man. They're the key. Okay, so you got goals. You got the income goals. Okay, here's a question for you. Mm-hmm. Business books. What are your top 3 books that were the best, most inspiring, the best for your business professional growth? The Think and Grow Rich type of book. What books were say your top 3 or top 5?
There is, I've read a lot of books, but when it comes down to business, I think that the first one that you probably need to read, any new entrepreneur, you got to read Built to Sell. You got to read Built to Sell, because that's going to show you always want to make sure, even if you don't plan to sell your company, you want to make sure that it's sellable. Because eventually you may want to go do something different. I have other goals outside of private security. I actually want to start an ambulance company one day. So that's a goal, right? So you got to read that. You have to read. You got to read How to Win Friends and Influence People. That will be no. I'll take that one out. You got to read the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. So read Built to Sell, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And then the third one, I want to say the Blue Ocean Strategy. You probably got to, you got to probably make that your top 3 if you're going to start your own business, because that'll be your personal development. That'll be your business structure. And then that'll be your niche, how to target that niche market, how to create those unique opportunities in business. Some honorable mentions, outside of the 3, is that the talent war is going to be really good for you if you're starting out a business, because especially in the security market, you'll realize that you being the man is not necessarily going to grow the business, because you can't really effectively work in and on your business at the same time. So you're going to have the right people in place. The talent war was really good. That was a lot of insights. I actually need to reread that again this year to get some more nuggets out of it. And another honorable mention will be How to Win Friends and Influence People. That book has been the most, some would say the 48 Laws of Power, but that's a little bit different. I would say How to Win Friends and Influence People is going to be more effective in getting people on your side. And I would say that all of my supporters, and I've got a ton of them in this industry, and it's been a blessing, has come from the skills that I used in How to Win Friends and Influence People.
I love that. That's good advice. That's good advice for anybody. And those are all great books. Anything else you want to say before we sign off?
For my people out there who are not in the military and we're not in law enforcement, be encouraged. And I say that because for a while I dealt with a lot of imposter syndrome related to that. And then I had to open my eyes and kind of get over myself a little bit. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. That's another good book. It'll teach you how to get over yourself a little bit. I had to get over myself and realize all the resources that I had around me. The industry has evolved so much, and as it relates to training, mentorship, and the willingness for people to want to let other people into it, that whether you have a background or not, this industry is for you. And if you feel like you want to go get a cool guy background, go be a reserve law enforcement. Me and you, we've gone through post level academies. Go be an EMT. Go join the reserve military. Go get a master's degree or something like that. But don't let anything discourage you from wanting to enter into this industry and wanting to thrive in this industry. Because if some skinny kid from Inglewood with no background can make it and provide for his family, you absolutely can too.
Good advice, my man. I appreciate it. I know we will talk before then, but hopefully see each other before then. But if not, I'm sure I will see you in Nashville in December for IPSB.
I will be there. And, right, and probably GSX as well.
Oh, I will. That's in Atlanta?
Atlanta, and I want to say September.
Yep. No, is Atlanta? Yeah, September. Yeah, I don't remember, but I'll be there as well. Yep. All right, my man. Thank you. Enjoyed the conversation, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, talk soon. Thank you.